We're covering breaking news, a landmark ruling from a federal judge who's just struck down Arizona's ban on gay marriage this morning. Let's listen in. Arizona Attorney General Tom Horne right now.
Ruled against us, and the United States Supreme Court has refused review to 3 circuits who came to the same conclusion under essentially the same circumstances. The decision that I make today is based on legal conclusions rather than policy considerations. I believe the first duty of the Attorney General is to be a good lawyer. Lawyers live under a rule called Rule 11, which provides that it is unethical for a lawyer to file a pleading for the purpose of delay rather than to achieve a result. The probability of the Ninth Circuit reversing today's district court decision is 0. The probability of the United States Supreme Court accepting review of the Ninth Circuit decision is also 0. Therefore, the only purpose that would be served by filing another appeal would be to waste the taxpayers' money. That is not a good conservative principle. I have decided not to appeal today's decision, which would be an exercise in futility and which would serve only the purpose of wasting taxpayers' money. I'm issuing a letter today to the 15 county clerks of court with the directive that based on today's decision by the federal district court, they can issue licenses for same-sex marriages immediately. I'm told that there are 10 couples already at the Maricopa County Clerk of Court's office waiting for their licenses, and I told the Clerk of Court that as soon as this press conference was over, he would get an email from me. He could proceed to issue those licenses, and Arizona has no waiting period, so those marriages can proceed today for those who wish it. I'm happy to take your questions.
Tom, does this mean that Arizona would recognize gay marriages as created in other states?
Yes.
What about all the other laws there are? There are various laws, for example, on adoption. You have issues where preferences are given to a married man and married woman. It's the way it's Greece, not a married couple. Does that mean that those laws either fall or are endangered based on the precedent set by the Ninth Circuit?
I think it's best to take things one at a time. If that question is presented to us, we'll research it and respond.
Tom, did you consult with the governor or any other lawmakers on this decision?
Yeah, we did consult with the governor. The governor's our client on one of the cases. The clerks of court are our client on another case, and we've consulted with them as well. It's our duty as a lawyer to consult with our client, and really we can't decide things contrary to the client's wishes.
And what did the governor say?
The governor, as you know, issued a statement today disagreeing with the court's decision, and I also disagree with the court's decision. I think this was a decision that should be made by the voters rather than by the judges, but the judges ruled against us, and her office recognizes that as do we.
So the governor agreed with your decision not to go forward?
The governor does not disagree.
Does not disagree?
Does not disagree.
Who else? I know, for example, in Nevada, in the Ninth Circuit, there are outsiders who seek to intervene. Does anyone else have standing to defend the Arizona constitutional provision or the statute, or simply, since it is a state statute, you're the only one and you get to control?
I believe the answer to that question is no.
Okay. So you've all left us all stunned here. We were sort of thinking you'd fight it. Well,
I did fight it. I was not among those who gave in. I did fight it, and I think that's an important point to make, is that it was my view that this is a decision that should be made by the voters and not by the judges. And I fought it as far as I ethically could. And my decision today is based on a legal conclusion that there's no chance of a reversal, and therefore it would be unethical for me to file an appeal that had no chance of success. It does not diminish my disagreement with the decision.
Have you spoken with the...
You heard it here live on CBS5. Arizona Attorney General saying even though the federal judge has struck down Arizona's ban on same-sex marriages because it would be a waste of money to pursue an appeal, he has decided to let it stand. And as soon as this news conference that you just heard live wraps up, he has given the courts across Arizona the right to start issuing gay marriage licenses. In fact, Tom Horne has confirmed that at the Maricopa County Courthouse Clerk's Office downtown, there are already at least 10 couples waiting in line to get their hands on a gay marriage license. This is a landmark ruling, of course. Just 10 days ago, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals struck down bans of gay marriage in Nevada and Idaho. So again, he mentioned that based on that ruling just 10 days ago, it didn't seem likely that Arizona would win an appeal on this. In fact, the governor agrees with Horne, saying that it should have been up to the voters. Here is the quote she has sent to us. "It is not only disappointing, but also deeply troubling that unelected federal judges can dictate the laws of individual states, create rights based on their personal policy preferences, and supplant the will of the people in an area traditionally left to the states for more than 200 years. Some strong words from our governor, but again, along with our Arizona Attorney General Tom Horne, has agreed to let the federal judge ruling that just came down this morning, a huge decision happening across Arizona now, making same-sex marriages legal in about 30 states. This is really big, and we actually have a crew that's headed down to the courthouse downtown to talk with some of those same-sex couples, hoping to legalize the marriage and the union that they have been recognizing monogamously for decades in many cases. There have been some court cases that we've been following for the last several years of couples who have taken their cases to all the way to D.C., demanding to be seen as equal rights protection for same-sex couples. And so this is something that is definitely breaking news as we're covering it right now. And you just heard from the state attorney general right now, in case you missed it off the top, that they are issuing gay marriage licenses across Arizona right now. We're going to have the very latest for you today at noon. This has been breaking news coverage on CBS 5, the very latest on air and online, CBS5AZ.com.